What is going on? Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out. One of the things that we do a lot on this channel is I try to share things that are the most real, most honest, and just try to tell it to you straight. I've done some videos in the past about relationships and things like that, divorce, marriage, and they've done extremely well. And I've had a number of questions, and I got into a conversation with a member maybe like a month ago about some of the advice that I got from a really high profile lawyer that I was able to hire. It's the number one lawyer in the state of Texas. And I wanted to share that information with you here. I've shared this on some other channels as well. My James Smiley kind of entrepreneur channel, I've shared a lot of this. But one thing that I've not shared is what I'm going to share with you here. A very common thing that people ask me, both men and women, is what's the best piece of advice you got from a super high expensive like a lawyer who takes care of celebrities and people like that. And first thing I want to say is, in no way am I advocating for divorce or and I think that it's a thing that should be avoided at all costs. That's what I personally believe. I know that some people say not all divorce is bad, and I don't know what my opinion is on that, but anyway, I just want to put something out there, and this is from both men and women, by the way. So when you hire a really really good attorney, a guy who handles Deion Sanders, all the big, athletes in the Dallas area, but also someone who has ethics and is not willing to throw somebody under the bus or just make up stories or cook stuff up. You learn a lot, and so it's partially an education that you're paying for as well as defense. And so, because I was getting, divorce filed on me, so what I want to say is no matter what situation you're in, there's going to be accusations and there's going to be, just a lot of passion and heartbreak and things like that. And divorces are just messy and so it's a really sad thing. But as the divorce formulates, um, uh, there is typically so he took it to me through me this way. He said there's kind of a fact finding stage, okay, where they're going to try to the other side, whether you're a man or a woman, they're going to try to come up with things that are factual, that are evidence based, and things like that. um, Now he says that what he believes, and by the way, this guy trains every single lawyer in the state. They go to his seminars, every single one. So he really, really, really knows his stuff. His name is Rick Robertson, and so this is some of the stuff that he gave me. You can look him up online. I don't know if he has any YouTube stuff, but he is really, really, really popular. Um, and so what he said shocked me. It absolutely shocked me. This piece of advice. He said, there's no winners. Okay. And I knew that. So I have a lot of experience counseling people in divorce. Um, and so he says, there's no winners. And I said, the only winner is the lawyers, you. And so we both kind of laughed on that. And I was like, it's funny because guys, it's not funny. Actually, the guy who gets paid the same, no matter what, is the lawyers. So this is why it's a kind of a huge catch 22. But the thing that he told me was, he said, number one, there's no winners. So he said, no matter what in this game, like, we're going to fight for what's fair, we're going to fight for what's right, and we're going to try to, the best case scenario, we live in Texas, like, is that we can get 50-50 of everything, which we pretty much did. There's a little bit of give and take here or there, but when you really look at it, it was pretty much split right down the middle. I didn't think that was right, but whatever. So I wanted more, but it's okay. I mean, you got to start somewhere in a negotiation, right? So my point here is that he told me, he said, there's a point when you've essentially won. He said you didn't really win, but you've won the argument. And he said this particularly pertains to people who have accusations. So he's had people with crazy accusations, I mean, think about athletes and their exes and their wives and husbands and all this stuff, and celebrities. I mean, he's had the craziest accusations. And so he said, you're never going to fully like in a divorce, it's not like a criminal case. It's not like Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp thing. It's not like that. It's not like, it's defamation and we're trying to get to, a grand jury to figure it out. Like, the judge is not going to say at the end of it, well, I think that accusation is wrong. I think that accusation is right. Like, that is typically not going to happen. And even in most states, that is not going to happen. What they're trying to do is figure out how to divide up the stuff. And that's what they're at divorce court for. And so it's very different. So when it comes to accusations, accusations are really a way to throw the other person under the bus or to somehow put things on the record that you want. But it's really like a snarky thing because you're paying tens of thousands of dollars to put something on the record when you could have just sent an email or something, right? Or just told your friends about it. But anyway, so he said that. And so I'm going to say this, and this is going to be, I don't know, I don't want to offend anybody, okay? But he said, no doubt, James, in all my cases, you've won when you get to the point where their arguments and their accusations turn to mental claims like he's crazy or she's crazy. Okay. So I hope I don't offend anybody there because I know men that say that and I know women who say that. Okay. So I'm just saying it's across the board. And the reason I wanted to bring it up here is I think that that isn't what I've learned is that is a completely illogical argument. Okay. That number one, the person making the accusation 99.999% of the times is not a professional who could actually diagnose that. That's whether they're a man or a woman. Number two, why don't they go get a real blood test or a real psychological exam? Why don't they do that? And the reason they don't is because the other person is most likely not actually crazy. Now, you might be going, no, man, I swear to God, dude, so-and-so is crazy. Okay, well, maybe to you they are, but like to the court, they're not. And so what happens there is the person essentially like what he was trying to tell me is when the person has nothing, they have no case, they have no evidence, that is what they will definitively always be able to fall back on. They won't try to prove it. They probably they might bring it up here or there in the court, but the court's not going to go, oh yeah, because you said they're crazy, and that's why it's a bad defense. It's a very bad defense, and you won't hear any good lawyer. You'll hear every good lawyer tell you not to bring it up. I've actually looked this up on YouTube as well, and it's because it's indefensible, right? There's nothing that would make you, whether you're a man or a woman, um, qualified to say that unless you can actually prove that. And the fact that you can't prove that is all the reason why you shouldn't bring it up. And so now there is what happens in court, and then there's the court of public appeal, right? Of public opinion. I'm sorry, and so that is typically why people will bring it up is because they know they're not that's nothing in court, but in so they're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to bring it up in court because both sides have to prepare for, defend it, and all that. But then in the court of public opinion, they can now claim some accusations and things like that. But at the end of the day, guys, I just want to tell you from a Christian standpoint and from a person who believes in uh, facts and common sense, try not to make that claim on somebody. Like if you don't like somebody or you're in a divorce or whatever, go to a higher ground and come up with something concrete and solid that you can talk about. And because by saying like, well, she's crazy or he's crazy, it doesn't make sense to most people, and it's kind of a low brainwave type of argument. And so I was shocked when my lawyer told me that. But the more I thought about that, I could think of men and women who have said that, who say, oh, you guys don't talk to her, she's crazy, or he's crazy or whatever, or and then all the other mental things, right? Like they have this mental issue, that mental issue, they have whatever, like, but unless you're willing to tell the person to go to the doctor, you really shouldn't. And now, if you are willing to say, some of you are going, bro, I've been telling her or I've been telling him he needs to go to the doctor. Okay, that's a totally different thing, right? And you should pay for it. You should pay for them to go. And if they don't want to go, then I think that is a admittance of, or some level of admittance that they are afraid of the outcome, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I know that a lot of us here, this is sad, but a lot of us here have been through a divorce for whatever reason, and we all have excuses, we all have things that we say, and I think that you should consider this as well. I think it was really good advice, and it was something that I steered away from, and I've never gone to, and would never go to unless it is something that I'm willing to say, hey, this person should go to the doctor and get checked out. But if it's just going to be an excuse, then it's almost like not even worth bringing up. So, and I think that if you're an intelligent person, you can come up with something better than, I don't know, the person's just crazy, because chances are the person's not crazy, and that even though you don't like them, even though whatever, chances are the person's not actually crazy. So anyway, let me know what you think about that. I think it's something to remember in these scenarios, that the way you will win in the greater public opinion is to make solid claims, talk about solid facts, and then yeah, there'll always be like 10 inner circle people on one person's side who just buy into the, oh, she must be or he must be crazy, like or narcissist or whatever, like any of those kind of like personality defects, or any of those psychological things. Like it's like, anyway, I've proven my point there. So anyway, guys, but I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and hopefully, you're not going through anything like that. But if you are, hopefully this helps you know how to deal with it. Because here's what I can tell you guys: when you stick to the truth, when you stick to the facts, okay, you will sleep better. You will have a you'll have a clear conscience, and you will be able to move on and build a bigger and better life. Um, and hopefully the other person does as well. But just claiming things that make no sense is not going to help you. It only, I mean, you look in the Bible, it only messes you up mentally. There's a lot in the Bible about demons that torment you, voices that torment you, and those things are, if you look at how that happens in the Bible, many different stories, it happens because people let those things in, because it's what they're projecting out. So anyway, appreciate you guys. You let me know. Be here every single day for you. I appreciate you. Talk soon.